Hello, lovely person. I'm here today to talk all things beans. But before we go to the beans, I just want to acknowledge the local custodians of the land I'm on. They are the Bundjalung Nation, and I would like to pay respects to the elders past, present and emerging. So I'm here to talk about beans, and I'm going to show you how to cook beans, because there's all this stuff in the media. There's these guys and women who say that we shouldn't be eating beans because of lectins. What rubbish that is. Okay, lectins, there are lectins on beans. Of course there are. I just want to tell you that we have been eating beans for 7,000 years, and even the local indigenous people in Australia were eating some sort of berry or bean. So they are a great source of protein, vitamin B, fiber, and you do not want to be taking them out of your diet. You just need to know how to cook them properly. So as I show you how to cook them properly today, I'm going to also talk to you about those fad diets and why they became popular and why people are scared of lectins and do not need to be. I'll just show you what I've done here. So last night I soaked almost a cup of chickpeas. I'm never going to buy beans from a can. Well, I lie there, I don't mean never. I will buy them if I'm away or I need something quickly. But what I do is cook the chickpeas up, and I freeze batches, so that's as easy to get out of the freezer as it is to get it out of a can. So with these beans, they've been soaked overnight. Now there are lectins, and now what I'm going to do, we'll get the cooking process going and then I can talk. This is my pretend sink here. I'm going to drain that soaking water off, and if I was at the sink I would rinse them off. And then I'm going to pop them into, I'm actually using a pressure cooker for chickpeas, because chickpeas can take up to an hour to cook. But since I've been gifted this gorgeous pressure cooker from Fargo, and I'm not promoting Fargo by the way, I am using the pressure cooker because it takes me 15 minutes to cook chickpeas now. So I think you noticed I put the kettle on. So we want to start cooking from boiling water, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So sure, there are lectins found on beans, and they are there to stop insects from eating them. And the lectins, apparently from these people who have made lots of money on their fad diets, tell us that lectins will cause all sorts of issues in our body. They would cause issues if I ate these raw. Who's going to eat chickpeas raw? Not me. The only thing where you could come up against issues with lectins is if you ate peanuts raw. So you might want to soak your peanuts or not eat another nut. So I'm putting boiling water to cook these, and I'm doing the first roll. Now this is an Ayurvedic method of cooking. They knew the science before science knew the science. It has been proven that if you cook your beans in water that's more than 65 degrees, you will remove the phytic acid. Phytic acid is another story. Lectins were removed in the soaking process. Lectins are water soluble, so as soon as you put them in water and soak them, the lectins are gone. To be safer, then you do need to also cook them. But phytic acid, so what phytic acid does and what lectins can do is they can bind to minerals. And so if you are eating lots of iron-rich foods and you're still not absorbing iron, it could be that you're not cooking your beans properly and you're not getting rid of the phytic acid. So this boiling water process will get rid of the phytic acid. What I'm doing here is I'm actually going to put the lid on, and we're going to bring this to a rolling boil. So the water will boil, and then I will drain that out and put more boiling water on. So right now I'm just going to put the kettle on so it's nice and boiling. If you do still struggle with digestion of when you cook your beans, choose smaller beans, like Azuki beans. They're king of the beans, and so are mung beans. Well, the mung beans are queen. They're both the same, king and queen. They're brilliant. They're nice and small. These harder beans, they're harder to get the phytic acid off. So yeah, oh, and I want to show you because I'm gloating here, but I grew these beans. Woo, they're cowpeas. I grew them in our garden, and I shelled all of those, and that took hours. Beans are underpriced actually because it took hours to shell, but so worth it. So soon this will be rolling boil, and I'll show you what's happening. All the phytic acid will come to the top. So if you are struggling absorbing minerals, then really you need to be doing this with your beans. Don't eliminate beans. They're just so full of goodness. Okay, now we're getting the rolling boil on, and you'll see this one isn't too bad, but there's white on there, and that's the phytic acid being removed. So I'm going to strain that now. The kettle's just boiled, so that's perfect. So I'm straining that out, and I'll just give them a little rinse. It's not necessary, but I'm just going to do that for, I don't know why, I felt like doing it. And then I'm going to put them back in and going to use boiling water. And by the way, I use filtered water, so that's up to you, but just going to put lots of water in this time because I'm going to put the pressure cooker on and then leave it for 15 minutes, and they'll be nice and soft. And I'll make hummus, and I'll come back next week with a hummus recipe. So I'm just going to put that pressure cooker on. And then, yeah, so that's those. And tonight we're having omelette, and there's the last video I did. I showed you how to make omelette, and these are split lentils. And we don't have to do the whole boiling process of these. We can actually make them, cook them from now, because they, without doing that double boil, I mean, because they're split. And so most of the lectins and the phytic acid is in the husk of the bean, and that because they're split, most of the husk is gone. Okay, cook your beans this way for healthy and deliciousness. Love you, bye.